There are moments in a man's life when he realizes a brutal truth. The world is not watching you, it's studying you. Every room you walk into is a battlefield disguised as a crowd. Every glance is a calculation. Every silence is a measurement. And the world is far colder than you think. Machiavelli mastered this concept. He knew that men destroy themselves not through what they lack, but through what they reveal. Power doesn't collapse because of enemies. It collapses because of exposure. So today I'm going to show you 9 things you must never do in public unless you want to hand your power away like pocket change. This isn't self-help. This isn't be your best self fluff. This is psychological warfare, the kind Machiavelli whispered, not wrote. Let's begin. 1. Never show emotional leakage. A man who bleeds in public teaches the world where to cut. The quickest way to lose authority in any room. Let people see your inner storm. Most men today parade their emotions like a badge of honesty, as if raw transparency automatically earns respect. But Machiavelli would smirk, because emotion is a roadmap, and the world is full of people who know how to read maps far better than you think. Emotional leakage exposes your pressure points, your fears, your triggers, your fractures. And once people see those fractures, they know exactly where to press. Think of Michael Corleone in The Godfather. His entire dynasty was built on one principle: never let them know what you're thinking. Stillness was his weapon, silence was his shield, a calm face was his battlefield advantage. Because here's the truth, most men never learn. If you want people to fear mishandling you, you must stop teaching them how to handle you. The world studies your reactions more than your words, so give them nothing. Stillness is power. Silence is armor. Poker face is strategy. You don't win by showing the wound. You win by letting them guess where the skin begins. 2. Never overshare your life. The more they know you, the less they respect you. We live in an age where people narrate their entire existence like a public diary. Every inconvenience becomes a confession. Every insecurity becomes content. Every personal battle becomes a live broadcast, and they call it vulnerability. Machiavelli would call it voluntary exposure, the kind only fools embrace. A man with mystery becomes myth. A man without boundaries becomes background noise. The strongest men in history, samurai, Spartans, monks, warriors, did their growth in silence. Their evolution was private. Their transformation was unseen, because the moment you hand your story to the world begins rewriting it. The moment you let strangers into your inner life, you give them the tools to interpret, twist, weaponize, and misuse it. The man who speaks less forces people to wonder. The man who speaks too much forces people to judge. Choose wisely which outcome you prefer. 3. Never explain yourself more than once. He who explains himself kneels twice. Weak men justify. Strong men clarify once. Powerful men let silence handle the rest. Every time you re-explain yourself, you send a silent message. Your approval matters more than my truth. And once people sense that, your authority evaporates. Your stance softens. Your posture collapses. Machiavelli taught that leaders must be feared or loved, but never doubted. Doubt is slow death. It corrodes respect. It waters down your voice until people stop hearing it altogether. A man who constantly explains himself becomes predictable, apologetic, fragile. A man who states his truth once, firmly, calmly, without flinching, becomes impossible to manipulate. Say what you mean, say it once, and let their confusion echo in their minds longer than any explanation ever could. Your silence is often the loudest answer. 4. Never show public desperation. Hunger invites the hunter. Neediness isn't verbal, it's physical. It leaks through your tone, your posture, your eyes, your energy. A man starving for approval, attention, validation, affection is a man already conquered. Watch any anime villain, the calm ones, the ones who never raise their voice, the ones who move slowly, speak softly, and don't chase anything. That's why they're feared. Power never begs. Machiavelli said men should be caressed or destroyed, but the desperate, they're neither. They're invisible, forgettable, easily dismissed. Because desperation announces weakness before you speak. It tells the world you're low value. It tells others you're willing to accept crumbs. It tells predators you're unguarded. But the man who doesn't chase attention controls it. The man who doesn't seek validation creates it. The man who needs nothing cannot be controlled by anything. True dominance begins where desperation dies. 5. Never react loudly to insults or disrespect. A loud reaction is an admission of injury. Let me tell you a story. A man named Marcus walked into a bar. Someone insulted him, loudly, aggressively, with the kind of theatrical disrespect meant to humiliate him in front of everyone. But Marcus didn't flinch, didn't blink, didn't even shift his posture. The room froze for a second, and in that silence, everyone felt the power dynamic reverse. Suddenly, the one shouting didn't look dominant. He looked fragile, insecure, desperate for validation from the very man he tried to embarrass. That's the secret most men never learn. Your reaction decides the hierarchy. One of the strongest displays of dominance is behaving as if nothing they do can provoke you, as if their attempts can't even reach your level. Because the moment you react, the moment you rise to the bait, you admit they touched something real inside you. And once someone learns they can provoke you, they realize they hold your emotional remote control. A man who owns your buttons owns you. 6. Never reveal your plans. The arrow that announces itself never kills the target. When you tell people your plans, you hand them a blueprint, not only for your ambitions, but for your weaknesses. You give them opportunities to interfere, sometimes openly, sometimes quietly, sometimes through doubt that drains your momentum, sometimes through envy that poisons your progress. Machiavelli taught that ambition must remain invisible until the moment of strike. A goal spoken too early becomes fragile. A plan revealed too soon becomes soft. Announcing your goals doesn't make them stronger, it makes them exposed. A silent plan cuts deeper. A silent climb creates pressure, and a quiet victory hits like thunder on a clear day. The world respects results, not declarations. 7. Never participate in petty conflicts. This is where most men lose their image, their status, and their leverage. Someone talks nonsense. Someone spreads a rumor. Someone tries to drag you into a low-value argument, and your instinct kicks in. You feel the urge to defend, to correct, to fight. That's how amateurs operate. Machiavelli would walk around these conflicts like they were traps, because that's exactly what they are. Every petty conflict you enter reveals your position, your emotion, your alliances. When you choose a side publicly, half the room becomes suspicious of you. When you react emotionally, the whole room learns how to push your buttons. A king never steps into the crowd's battles. He stands above them. He observes, calculates, and only acts when the outcome shifts the board in his favor. Petty men fight for pride. Powerful men fight for advantage. And sometimes the greatest advantage is refusing to fight at all. 8. Never display bitterness after rejection. He who resents reveals his attachment. The world pays close attention when a man is rejected by a woman, a social circle, an employer, an opportunity, a friend. Most men crack open. They become passive-aggressive. They throw subtle insults. They grow cold and visibly bitter. They don't understand that bitterness is a confession. It tells everyone, I needed this, I didn't get it, and now I'm wounded. But powerful men behave differently. They detach instantly. They withdraw their presence with calm, almost surgical precision. They walk away without flinching, without signaling loss, without gripping what slipped through their fingers. This creates an uncomfortable silence, a psychological vacuum. People begin to wonder, did they make a mistake? Did they misjudge you? Did they lose someone valuable? A man who doesn't show bitterness becomes the man they regret rejecting, and regret is far more powerful than resentment. 9. Never publicly criticize someone more powerful. If you strike a king, you must kill him. When you publicly attack someone with more influence, more reach, or more authority than you, you're not being brave, you're being reckless. Even if you're correct, even if your criticism is justified, truth without leverage becomes suicide. There was once a young soldier who publicly mocked a respected general. The general didn't shout, didn't punish him on the spot. He simply said one word, noted. Within a month, the soldier was quietly removed from his position, swallowed by the system he tried to challenge. This is how real power works. It doesn't need to roar. It removes obstacles without fingerprints. You do not challenge the throne in front of the crowd. You do it in silence, with timing, with leverage, with precision. Let gravity destroy the powerful, not your impulsive mouth. The dark summary, the Machiavellian code. If you want to walk through the world with a presence that makes people whisper before they speak to you, hesitate before they challenge you, and analyze before they judge you. Then you must amputate these 9 behaviors from your public life. Because Machiavelli wasn't teaching cruelty, he was teaching clarity. He knew the world is a stage where most men reveal too much. Their emotions, their doubts, their wounds, their motives. They think transparency makes them trustworthy. It doesn't. It makes them predictable. And a predictable man cannot be powerful. Real power comes from what you withhold, not what you display. The man who shows little controls much. The man who moves quietly strikes loudly. The man who speaks rarely is listened to intensely. The less they know, the more they imagine. And what they imagine is almost always more powerful than the truth. The last principle standing. This world is a theater of masks. Choose yours with intention. Never show the crowd the parts of you still under construction. Never let strangers see where you break. Never let your emotions leak out like a cracked blade. Machiavelli warned us, men judge more with their eyes than their minds. So build an image they can't decipher, a presence they can't predict, a silence they can't ignore. Because the man who cannot be read cannot be controlled. And in a world built on manipulation, that makes you dangerous, unshakable, untouchable, a ghost with a crown. Thank you for watching. If you want more raw lessons, join my free newsletter. The link is in the description. And if you want to see more videos, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.